Hello everyone, this is Taliesin McKnight. Today let's take a look at the Tree of Life and the Kabbalah. If you'd like to understand Kabbalah, it is a mystical form of Judaism. Of course, there are other uses of Kabbalah outside Judaism, because a lot of people have taken those ideas, found them profound, and used them in their own systems. For example, Christianity has borrowed the Kabbalah, modern occultists, but nonetheless, the Kabbalists have a glyph of the universal pattern. By the universal pattern, I mean the universal blueprint that all things, man's psyche, because as above, so below, because things are a reflection of higher things, that the cells in my body make me. The universe is a reflection of me. I'm a reflection of the universe is a reflection of God. So that if you can understand the forces within yourself, you can understand the cosmos. And the ancients went through they went through a lot of thinking about this. They had 7 heavenly bodies that were very close to the earth, reflections of 7 urges within the psyche that they also saw as reflections of God. So anyways, in the Kabbalah, I'm going to be using a little bit of my pen and paper here. So ultimately, the Kabbalistic concept of God is infinite. God is, to the Kabbalists, God is infinite, unknowable. There's nothing that you can know about God. If you say that God is A, then God can't be B. If God is white, then God can't be black. So there is no limits, no restriction. The Hebrew word ain means not. Nothing. Sof means boundary, or limit, so that Ein Sof is without limit, without boundaries, without bounds, so that God is infinite. That's all that we could really understand about God. We can't understand anything else. This is the true nature. Think of an infinite circle. The circle is a symbol of infinity. Infinite, vast. So this is the unknowable aspect of Godhead. Now, if you made a point in space, if you made a point, think of this point as a focal point for Ein Sof, the infinite deity. A point to where, think of this as infinite space, and within it a point is made where you could look out. A point, a concentration to where God could have a place to look out from, a point to where it could have a self within itself. It's hard to describe. Basically, this point, this is God, not really condensed, but at a level that it could be, I really can't explain, it's really hard. Keter is infinite also. Keter is a part of Ein Sof. Keter is infinite. It is the highest Sephira, and it is one with Ein Sof in a way. And of course it's really the infinite light, but Ein Sof is a center of focus. A Keter is a center of focus for Ein Sof. Now next we have Chokmah, the male principle, and Binah, the female principle. So this creates what we call the supernal triad. The supernal triad. It's a little crooked, but you get the idea. So this is the one, the unknowable, condensed to a spot, a point. This is the unknowable Keter, the same as the circle Ein Sof. Chokmah is the masculine principle. It is Wisdom. Binah means understanding in Hebrew. It's the female principle. So that there are masculine and feminine aspects to deity. Now, next you come to Chesed. This is Chesed. Chesed is the loving, paternal aspect of God. The aspect of God is that is the loving, kind, gives to us love. So that is Chesed. Chesed. Gabura is wrath, the wrathful side of God. That punishes. So you have Chesed, which is the aspect of God that is all loving and kind. And then you have Gabura, which is wrath. So, and you see this idea repeated in Judaism, the balance between positive, loving, and harsher aspects to God. So that God has both loving and harsh and gentle. God could do everything great for you. God could take it away. That within God is the power of life and death, the power of creation and destruction. So it's not all just peaches and roses with God. There's a balance. So Chesed and Gabura, that is very important. Okay, and the balance between those is Tiferet, beauty. So the balance between those. Now this exists both within God and within man. Remember I told you about that universal pattern thing. So in God, these manifest as his loving, kind, and his wrathful aspects. But in man, in mankind, we also have mercy and severity. We have a side of us that is loving and giving. But it's not all about that. Sometimes we as humans have to be harsh. To have no harshness or toughness to you is to allow evil to exist. If people are out there raping and murdering people and you don't get out there and fight, if you don't fight, then you're allowing evil to exist. So we have to create and destroy, just as God creates and destroys. Sometimes you have to be tough with people. So there is a balance. And the balance of those two things is beauty. Tiferet. And Tiferet is also Keter at a lower level. Do you see that? So Keter and Tiferet are both reflections of each other. And this is often where people put Christ, because it's the intermediary between God and man. It's the midway point. So that is the ethical triad, is what people call it. And then down here, you have Netzach. Netzach is our emotions and creativity and our passion, whereas Hold deals more with logic and reason. Those are just two of the things. That's the type of thing that you'll hear a lot in like modern Hermetic psychology, Kabbalah stuff. So you have these two sides, your rationality and your, this is where you have left and right brain thinking. And then you have Yesod, which is the balance between them. Yesod is the moon. Yesod can be seen as intuition, the balance between those. And Yesod is also the blueprint where everything happens before it manifests in Malkuth. Now Malkuth is earth. It's physical reality. Malkuth, I'll repeat that. Malkuth is physical reality. The physical universe that we are aware of is Malkuth. That means that this layer is the only part of reality that most of us are aware of. We're only aware of the physical realm. That means that what we are looking at as reality in this world is literally the tip of the iceberg of what's real. So have we really reached reality? Or are we merely looking at a small fragment of what there is around us at any given time? However, in Malkuth is the whole tree. This tree exists within us. The 10 Sephirot are the forces in our psyche. Some also view them as chakras or centers of energy. The 22 paths are the energy currents in our body. They're also how the parts of our psyche interact. This deals with the universe. And it also follows the Neoplatonic, Gnostic, Hermetic, astrological map of the cosmos. Because in the Hermetic view of the universe, think of rings. We had Earth, we had the Moon, then we had Venus, Mercury, then the Sun, then we had Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Okay, these are the levels of reality. They involve the 7 heavens. So here's the Moon. Okay. We have all of these. Now, this is the map of the 7 heavens. Now, the 7 heavens are mentioned in Islam and the Hajj. They're mentioned in Dante's Divine Comedy. You have 7 planes in Hinduism. You have the 7 heavens of certain Gnostic texts and Hermeticism. So it's found in many different religions, 7 heavens. Outside that, you had the zodiac, and outside that, the first movement. So you had Earth, the Moon, Venus, Mercury, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and then the zodiac, the wheel of the zodiac. Then you had God, or the first mover. The same thing happens to the Tree of Life in the same order. Malkuth is Earth. Yesod is the Moon. The next one is Netzach, is Venus. Hod is Mercury. The Sun is Tiferet. You have Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, the Zodiac, and the first mover. These Sephirot on this Tree of Life go in the exact order of the cosmos, the ancient pagan map of the cosmos. So that moving to Yesod is going to the ring of the Moon, going to Netzach is going to the ring of Venus, going to Hod is going to the ring of Mercury. So it's a path through the solar system, leading through the zodiac and into God. So that is what it's going up the 7 tones, the 7 musical harmonies of the spheres of Pythagoras. It's going up the 7 steps of initiation through the stars. It's going through, it's Jacob's ladder is what they call it in the Kabbalah. So anyways, and various ceremonial magic grimoires use 7 metals. So they try to ascend through the heavens, through the gates, with the use of silver, the metal of the Moon, and copper, the metal of Venus, quicksilver for Mercury. So the ancients used these seals and these spirits in the seals and the heavenly bodies. Of course, you have the spirits of the sun, the spirits of Venus. So that's like in that